What is up, you guys? Happy Wednesday. Look, this is how me and Tom going about laying out all our stuff, all our tile. So we've got like just a boatload of boxes we've opened. Okay, there's a lot of tile going in here. And we opened it all to twist and turn. And really try to make this stuff jive, as best we can. You get a lot of them that come together like that. Then you get a lot of them that are just barely off. Some are really meant to go together. Okay, those two are meant to go together. These we just made work because they look, they got places that they meet and tie. So you're just trying to get the best look with this pattern. It's almost impossible to get everything perfect, but we're giving it our all. So this is what we came up with, initially for the diverter, because as you enter the room, there are so many focal points. You got the shower diverter wall. You got the face of the wall we built. We got the entire tub wall area over here. So a lot of things to consider when we're doing all this. So this one here, we got to play out real nice. These two go together. And the problem is you get a lot of them that can fly and go together, like these two. They're perfect. But it's tying this pattern in with another pattern, in with another pattern. And then we also try to not only get them in a row like that, what's going to butt up to those on that side. For instance, if that was the diverter wall, then the back shower wall would be coming at us. So how does that look tying into those? It's a lot to think about. It's a lot to consider, but that's why we take all this time, because we want this to look the best it could possibly be. What is up, you guys? Look, check it out. It looks totally wicked, man. We love it. We have spent a lot of hours just playing around, twisting everything around, trying to get this to lay out as best as possible, as best as we can. So, in doing so, we've got our next two up here. Okay, and there's some things we want to show you. There's some things we want to talk about. Right now, we were looking at the pattern. We've got these sitting in here in stage. These are not even thin setted yet. We do that to get the window here, the niche, all that stuff pretty accurate. We'll go over that in a second. We've already got these two in play as far as staged up here, and we already know what's going here and here. Better yet, we know what's going all the way at the top as well. We laid all that out this morning, and we have put this jigsaw puzzle together as best we can. But I really love the look. They love it. So now let's talk about the rest of the window. Come on up here, Tom. Me and Tom do it this way. I mean, there's a gazillion different ways you can do it. We do it this way because we like to be deathly accurate when it comes to the granite slab that we're going to be wrapping all this stuff with. So the better, the more perfect in turns and everything is coming together. We've polished all these to make them look factory. So a lot of time goes into that. We actually stage the two above. You can see. Bring them on in here, Tom, and show them this right here. So this is why we go to the trouble of staging that. That is perfect. Perfect. And we can see the daylight in our seam here. And then where it goes black, so we can actually see where the top of the ledge is in our 16th. Okay, and then these can be lined up. It makes it all super simple. And now that we're jumping over this window, our 16th stayed perfect along the way. It all stems back to the ledger board helping us. So now that we have all these in here, real simple, we'll come over here and do this one. Some places on this tile is hard to see, hard to mark. If you want to come like right there, Tom. There you go. Just because I'm right-handed. It's hard to see sometimes. I got to like look at where my pen tip is and then make sure. So I'm making that mark right to the right. When I put the blade in that mark, I know it's hard to see for you all, so sorry. When I put the blade in that mark though, it is going to take that away, and these are going to be identical, just like right here. So that's the whole point of that. I'm going to go ahead and do this one over here, bro. I know it's hard to see. Hell, it's hard to see for me to mark it. Which is another reason, you guys, why we've got a light coming in here. It's kind of real shadowy in here. A lot of light elsewhere. With all the amount of support and framework up here, it was not a super great idea to put in our vent with the light right above you there. So once Mike got up here, I mean, there's so much framework crossing each other. There was not enough room to set the box in play right inside the shower like we wanted to. There just wasn't enough room with all the framework. So that's going to end up being a halo light to really light this up where you can see everything real good. And then the vent is like 2 feet right outside. So we've got the 110 ohms. So, I mean, it's going to suck super strong, just like the other one in here does. So we won't have any problem with moisture or anything like that. Now that we got these set, let's talk about it. I can see right here, and if I'm in doubt, I'll stick my finger back there and see where it stops. So now I know exactly where that is, and we want this to overhang. We want this to overhang the ledge up here because we overhang all these about 1/4 inch. That way when I stand up the thin set in here and we back butter our granite, then it'll push down in there, set like we want it, tilt it like we want it, and then the excess thin set will come out this joint, and we'll just simply clean that away back to nothing. So that allows us that. If we were to time that out right even with the seal, sitting down, our gap would be much bigger. We would never push down to a 1/16. So we got to have that higher than what we need so we can push down to where we need. Hope that makes sense for you. I'm not the best at times of explaining stuff. Ask Tom. All right, so look, now that we've got all these and we've got this mark that I just made, okay, I put it right there on one side to see if I like it. I do like it. I like that mark. So now I'm going to transfer that mark. Let me get my bubble here in the light so I can see it. There we go. And once you got that exactly where you want it, right there, that's going to be, boom. That's my transfer line. Sorry, Tom. Now, those two lines are identical. So when I separate these two tiles, as long as the thickness of my blade sits right into that line and duplicated on the next tile, then when I put them back together, it's going to be an identical transfer line. So now it's simple. Now we're going to pull out our digital level so that we are level to the spec. We're going to send that line across, and then we're going to make these tie lines right here. We're going to take these off, take them out there and cut them, bring them back in here and stage them, restage them, make sure they all fit like we want them to. Then we'll take them off, then set them, put them into play, work on the other two. All right, so if Tom would get out of the way. Tom, get out of the way. No, don't. I'm just playing. All that'll fall. So look, remember we had these two already set. These are the ones that are staged now. Now there's our window again. So look, this is what happens when you leave everything on the floor. So let me tune you into the window. This is what's crucial. Okay, right there. And I want to show you. Okay, that is dead even. And look, there you go. Dead even. Holding our two, the greens are equal to our 16th. And then let me get right over here by Tom. Bam. There you go. That's what you're looking for. So now when you look at it, I just wanted to zoom in, that way you could see how clean that is. Okay, and all this got polished. All of it got polished because we were inside the factory line. But this is what's crucial, because here in a little bit, when we come in here with that granite, look. So that's what you're looking at. And then when we bump that granite an even 16th for the silicone, see, that's why it's so important to be straight on those. transfer lines. Huge with me and Tom on the transfer lines. So that's how we go about them now that we've staged all that. And believe it or not, in cutting these to perfection, we did have to take this one back out. We had to shave him just a little bit more. So as tight as we try to be, it still happens. But that's why we go to all this trouble. Now it's perfect. We're not sitting in here with thinset all over the wall, you know, and having to jerk all this back off, all that cleaning. We would rather make sure that it is perfect on the front side. And now we'll go to the trouble of setting these two. All right, you guys, look, man, I'm all the way in the closet. Look at that. I'm all the way in the closet. I wanted you to see way back here. Look how that turned out. Man, we love it. I mean, any and everything you can think of lined up. God, it turned out good, Tom. Yeah. All right, look, so let me tune you in on a couple of things. Look, Tom, come back here. I'll start right here on this wall and show them. Man, that wall's sick. I'm going to try to stay out of the camera. That's kind of where I'm. So look, let me show you here. Check it. That guy. Look. Dang, 3 tiles. So we caught a break there. We really caught a break here in transitioning to the corner, to the wall. Look at that. Right over, spot on. Spilled right in. We tried to make this blend and come together over here. That kind of goes up, kind of kisses that over there. We had to put one oddball one up here. It didn't go as great as we had hoped, but you got to pick your poison somewhere along the line. This turned out super cool. Look, bing. Okay, and that exploded right into that and shoved that right over here. So a lot of these we liked because that came down and actually tied into that little guy, even though it switched colors. So this tied right into here. I mean, it was just really well thought out. This ballooned over here in the corner, took shape. This kind of caught that edge up there. All that timed out really well. Jumps kind of back over there. So, I mean, all in all, that just really came together for me and Tom. So, what I want to tell you now is a lot of people, most people we see, when they go to tile, they'll tile, like, say, the back wall, for instance. And then they'll tile this wall or this one, whichever, after. Well, let me tell you what me and Tom do. When we do a lot of our designs and stuff like this, we think about everything on the front side. And in executing this, we put that in the center on purpose. And obviously those are factory, so we didn't have to polish, none of that. But what we do is we don't set the whole back wall. We came in and set this one and this one, okay? Got them plumb, got them like we wanted it. We immediately put in this one and this one to play off that vein work and to have them all set. And the benefit to that, let me tell you. Come on in here, Tom. When we went to set this down, the factory edge, I measured that way and made my cut, right? I threw my cut in the corner. That's why this one went in and that's why this one followed, because this edge is the factory and we made our cut over here. So this went in, that factory pretty edge goes in, and guess what? I had those sitting right there because this was already plumb. When I popped that in, shoved over, we hit right on the money of our 1/8 of an inch silicone joint. When I go up and do the next one, same thing. Cut, factory. Factory goes over, touches that, you just keep touching as you go up. If this is plumb, this will be your next one. That way, even though you plumb this wall, do it in its entirety, and you come back to put ones in on here, you're going to need to tweak this ever so slightly, one way or another, to get that joint, because of cupping, because of other things. To get that perfect like that, it's impossible if you do this entire back wall and come over here. So that's why we do 1, 2, 1, 2, especially with a pattern. Then look, 1, 2, we do these together so that we can get all this together. Plumb these, then we pop this one and pop that one. Make sure they're all driving. then we keep coming up. So at the end of it, we're not fighting where that silicone's going later. It's perfect. It stays perfect through the whole thing. That's why we do that. That's exactly why we do that. So there's our window. There's the niche. Tomorrow, we're going to go ahead and do the outside wall, the face, this face, this face. They all have to be done so our granite slabs can come in here where we need them. So we need this on first so we can set that granite to it. You know, great day today. We're super happy, and we've done, you know, absolutely, we have tweaked this tile about as good as you're going to get it. So we love it. The homeowner loves it. Got a little bit more to go. Be working on that other wall tomorrow. So as usual, you all, thanks for tuning in. Hope you like it. We'll see you back tomorrow with another one.